Welcome to the interview room.
Do I look like Ross Perot? Or I look like the Admiral?
Ready?
Admiral Stockwell?
Welcome to the interview room. We have Bob Baffert, the trainer of 30 Slews, with us. Bob, congratulations. Your thoughts on the race, the fastest in Breeders' Cup history in the sprint?
Well, it was he came up to the race perfect. I mean, I couldn't. Everything went so smooth this week, and I just couldn't believe it. And the way he broke and laying off that filly, that's where I wanted him to be, up close. And turning for home, that filly, she showed a lot of guts. She was digging in pretty good, but I knew that if he was within a length of her, he's got that huge stride that he's been famous for, and that's why she got run down.
And with the fast start, was there any concern that 30 Slews would be able to catch Mia Farah in your mind?
No,
any time?
I love the way where he was. He was a perfect. He doesn't like to run. He doesn't like to get dirt in his face. He likes to be in the clear. He was in a perfect. I couldn't have written the script any better. It was just one of those races where everything just went fantastic all week long. I just wish my wife was here to see it.
Any questions?
The horse that you brought to Keeneland like a couple years ago, like he was unbeaten maybe at the time, or?
Yes, this horse, he was my first horse ever bought at auction, and so he was a good horse right off the bat. I have to admit I mismanaged him early in his career, and that's why it's taken him so long to get this far. But luckily he stayed in one piece. He had a breathing problem. We got that corrected, thanks to Dr. McElraith in Colorado, and without that he would have just been a $50,000 claimer. And he changed his whole ability. He had what you call a flapper that was paralyzed, and it won't open up, so they're only getting about a third of their air. So they go in there and they surgically tie it back, sew it back, but it's an operation that's like 50-50, and it works.
Okay, let's go up to the upper press box now, and Roy Slanoff. Roy, anyone have questions there?
Questions up here? Anybody have a question? No questions in the upper press box.
Okay, now to Jim Albert in the lower press box. Jim?
Hello, I don't think so. Anybody here in the lower press box need a question? Okay, on to you.
Okay, Glenn Mathis now in the patio.
No, we've got no questions here.
Okay, we have one more here now for Bob.
Bob, when you said this was the first horse you'd bought at auction, what was it about this horse that intrigued you and you wanted to buy him?
Basically, he looked like just a giant, big quarter horse with a lot of length and balance, and he was the only horse I could afford at the time. So there was something about him. I knew he wouldn't run as a 2-year-old. Then I found out later that he was the stallion was stood by a good friend of mine named Jimmy Bell, who I went to college with, and I thought there's got to be something good come out of this.
Bob, you trained this horse like a quarter horse, I've heard. What's the similarities in the training methods for each breed?
Well, I had 2 quarter horses. I won the biggest quarter horse race in the quarter horse, the Champion of Champions it's called, and I won them both off of horses. They weren't favored, but I gave them 2 months off before the race, and I just trained him into the race slowly, and I took the same pattern with this horse, except he was working further.
When was the breathing operation done? Was that early this year? Or?
It was this year. It was in, you get the vet bills. Was it January? It was January. I was going to do it last year, but they said you have to turn him out for, I would have lost 5 months with him, so that's why I hadn't done it earlier. So, but it came to the point when Grace Loopy beat him the last time, he couldn't breathe, and Eddie says he's just no good like that, so we had to do it.
I'm a little confused because he then must have raced like right after the operation, because he shows a race on his form February 22nd.
No, okay, after that race, that's when he did it. Yeah, yeah. So then, whenever it was after the race where he got beat by Grace Loopy.
Where was that done by? Where was the operation?
It was done at the Bart Baker Clinic by Los Alamitos, California.
Bob, thanks very much. Congratulations. We also have with us in the interview room the owners, Dr. Jim Streelman, Dennis Boer, and Mitch DeGrow. Everyone still here? Good.
You know what?
For the best in historic horse racing action is Thoroughbred Racing Review. Subscribe on YouTube and read the rest of the story on Facebook. Subscribe now.